We got our first look at Mark Ruffalo's Hulk on the set of Spider-Man Brand New Day in a brand new scene, so let's break it all down. We've also got new looks at Sadie Sink, confirming some key details about her character and helping debunk a few fan theories about who she's not playing. We even got our first look at Michael Mando's Scorpion, his first appearance since Spider-Man Homecoming in that post-credit scene. If you're brand new to the channel, there's a ton of stuff coming up, so be sure to subscribe to get everything as it drops. While I was in the middle of making this, Mark Ruffalo literally started talking about what's going on behind the scenes with a potential Hulk solo movie at Marvel Studios, so I'll include that later in the video too. Starting with the big stuff first, and yes, let's make all the Hulk puns possible. We've got our first look at Mark Ruffalo in post-Hulk form after he's come back down to Banner being taken away in an ambulance of all things. People are already asking, why would Bruce Banner need an ambulance if he's got gamma healing? Normally, those powers would heal any damage to his body. What it looks like is happening here is that this scene takes place after the Hulk's gone on a rampage, and Peter Parker, Spider-Man himself, has calmed him down and gotten him to change back into Banner form, hence the ambulance. Kevin Feige already confirmed that Bruce Banner would appear in the movie. We just hadn't seen any actual scenes with Mark Ruffalo on set until now, so nobody knew what he was doing. There's a ton of special effects, explosions, and building destruction, so a lot of people are theorizing that this connects to the Hulk's rampage, possibly a return to his savage Hulk state after being Professor Hulk for so long. Most of the footage we've seen from Spider-Man Brand New Day so far has focused on Punisher, with Spider-Man trying to stop him from killing off villains. That also ties directly into Sadie Sink's character, which we'll talk about in a bit. According to the rumored plot for part of the movie, it's actually Spider-Man versus Hulk versus Punisher until they realize they're all on the same side. Now, people are asking, how could Punisher even touch Hulk? The only logical connection is that it ties into whatever the main villain of the movie is doing, which, surprisingly, we still know very little about. We haven't seen the main villain yet, though it's supposedly a female character. There were early theories about Mr. Negative appearing and using his powers to manipulate Hulk, changing him back into Savage Hulk mode, but most reliable scoopers say Mr. Negative isn't in this movie. That doesn't really line up with what we know either. The only confirmed villain who could physically mess with Hulk is Scorpion, whose mechanical suit could deliver powerful stings or toxins. Speaking of which, we got a huge first look at Michael Mando's Scorpion. Notice he's wearing a white prison jumpsuit from Rikers Island, the same one from Homecoming's post-credit scene. It looks like this scene takes place after a prison break, possibly with him being escorted to a helicopter. You'll also notice he's waving to the crowd, not in character, but at fans watching on set. Based on the context, this might be an early scene where the main villain helps him escape from prison. It could tie directly into another big scene we've seen Spider-Man trying to stop a tank. Yeah, that tank from crashing into Rikers Island. That collision causes a massive breakout, letting a ton of villains escape. We're not totally sure if Punisher's driving the tank, but supposedly he's inside it during the city scene, with Spider-Man trying to stop him from killing everyone. Now, moving on to Sadie Sink. We got our first real look at her character, wearing camo pants, boots, and her signature bright red hair. A lot of early theories said she might be playing Jean Grey, Firestar, or even a multiverse version of Mayday Parker. But given the military-style outfit and the fact that Punisher's rumored to have a female ally in the movie, it's far more likely that she's playing a Punisher-related character. She looks almost exactly like Rachel Cole Alves from the comics, a character introduced in Punisher Volume 9 Hashone, August 2011. She was a Marine lieutenant whose wedding turned into a massacre. 29 people died, including her husband sending her on a revenge-fueled rampage that led to her teaming up with Punisher. In all the Sadie Sink set photos, she's wearing a black shirt, though we don't see a Punisher skull logo. Still, the resemblance is uncanny and it fits the story. Marvel might just be changing her backstory a bit for the MCU. If that's the case, she'd serve as a dark mirror to Spider-Man, someone who did give in to Punisher's methods, while Peter's still trying to hold on to his no-kill rule. That internal conflict, Spider-Man being slowly pulled darker by Punisher's influence, seems to be a major theme of this movie. It might even echo Aunt May's storyline from No Way Home, the idea that killing a villain like Green Goblin might have stopped May's death, but at the cost of Peter's soul. That how far can you go before you stop being the hero question feels like the emotional spine of this new trilogy, Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6. As for the symbiote, we haven't seen any signs of it appearing in Brand New Day. Honestly, I hope they save that for Secret Wars and use Spider-Man 5 and 6 to properly explore the full symbiote saga, just like in the original 1,980 Seconds Secret Wars comics. Now, back to Mark Ruffalo and Hulk. In a recent interview, Ruffalo talked about the Hulk rights situation, and yeah, it's still messy. "I'd love to do a solo Hulk movie," he said, "but the rights are still with Universal. It's a complicated deal, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon." That's the issue. Universal still holds distribution rights for solo Hulk films. Marvel and Disney can use Hulk in team-up movies, Ragnarok, Avengers, etc., but they can't release a solo movie without giving Universal a big slice of the profits. That's why Kevin Feige and Marvel have been spreading Hulk's story across other movies, instead basically a Hulk trilogy told through Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame instead of one standalone series. The She-Hulk series was allowed because TV rights work differently, but those shows aren't as profitable because of how expensive Hulk CGI is. So yeah, if you're waiting on a World War Hulk movie, don't hold your breath. It'll probably take a massive check from Disney to buy those rights back, and clearly, the ones they've written so far haven't been big enough. There's also buzz that Marvel might drop official Spider-Man Brand New Day footage by the end of the year, maybe attached to one of the big upcoming releases. We just wrapped New York Comic-Con, so it's possible they're saving a teaser for the holidays. If you're hearing this, you're early, like day one early. Spoiler alerts, brand new, and this whole thing only grows if people like you jump in and ride with me. So hit subscribe, help plant the flag, and let's build this community from the ground up. The kind of place where we don't just watch the chaos, we break it down, laugh at it, and geek out over every wild detail together. Stick around, because the goal isn't just to talk about movies and shows, it's to build the best damn spoiler-loving community on YouTube. And it starts right here with you.